Hi everybody, I'm Matrix Andrea, and we're going to continue our playthrough of Dark Souls, this time going into the Catacombs and the Tomb of the Giants at New Game 4. So let me show my build before we get moving. Alright, so a lot of people talk about having a choice about where to go at the beginning of the game, and they would run down into the graveyard with the skeletons and talk about how hard it was, so they would turn around and go back to the Undead Burg, which is where you're really supposed to go. But now we're built up so we can go into the graveyard and take care of the skeletons. I think I was one-shotting these guys when I was two-handing before, so I'm not sure how much health they actually have, but once you go down into the tomb, or I mean the catacombs itself, you should use a divine weapon because there's necromancers that keep bringing the skeletons back to life, so that's why I've got my divine mace equipped. I made that in the last game cycle, and it's a little bit more powerful than the Morning Star that I was using, so I'm going to see just how much damage it does while I play. Divine weapons will put down skeletons for good, whether or not they have a necromancer, so I'm going to have to use it when we fight the final boss down at the bottom of the Tomb of the Giants. And I'm using the Ring of Fog so that I don't get jumped by too many skeletons. If you attack these things with a normal weapon, they'll fall down, but you won't get any souls, and then you won't get any... I mean, they'll come back to life after a few seconds, so even if you're not a faith build, it's still best to have a divine weapon so you can kill these guys. And here's their necromancer. Once you kill the necromancer for an area, you can kill the skeletons without a divine weapon. Let me equip my fire shield, the Black Knight shield. You can see that my divine mace doesn't do as much damage as my regular mace because it's a split damage weapon. And there's another necromancer over there, so I'm going to shoot him to death. Wearing the Ring of Fog so he doesn't see me. Arrows will slightly push these enemies back, so sometimes I have to move forward to keep doing damage to them. I'm not going to go out of my way to kill everything in this area. I'm just going to follow the standard pathway that I always follow to get down to the bottom as quickly as possible. But you can find Tranquil Walk of Peace in the tomb, and you can find, in the Catacombs, and you can also find Skull Lantern by killing enough of the necromancers, or if you're really lucky, you'll find it after you kill the first one. These floating Tenchu heads explode if they get too close to you, so if you're wearing the Ring of Fog, sometimes they won't, but I like them to explode so I don't have to worry about them. And then some of these statues poke spikes out at you. See, there's a lever over here that'll turn that bridge. And there's another necromancer across that bridge, so I'm going to try to bait his skeletons out and kill both of them before I take care of it. Alright, moving on. I probably could have chased him, but they have a habit of running away and getting back into a pack of skeletons, and that makes it more difficult to kill these guys. And there's another necromancer down these stairs that we have to go to push another lever in. There, he dropped the skull lantern, but I don't need to pick it up because I have the sunlight maggot. Also, at the bottom of this stairway here, if you drop off over the edge where it ends, you can drop down into the Vamos, the blacksmith chamber, and he can make fire weapons for you. Pushing that lever in opens up this door right here, but don't run too far forward because you'll fall over the side. Then there's an illusory wall here, and there's a bonfire behind it. We got to go up here to press another lever in so we can make that bridge turn and run across it. Sometimes Patches is up here and he'll do the bridge for you, but then when you're midway across running over it, he'll turn it back so you fall. I think you got to do the catacombs earlier in the game for him to show up. See this jutting out rock here. I'm going to drop down onto a platform here and summon Paladin Leroy and let him kill the bone wheel skeletons for me. Everybody knows how bad the bone wheels are in Dark Souls 1. Well, usually he runs down there and he'll kill him for me. Since I summoned him, I'll let him help me fight Pinwheel. People make jokes about how easy this boss is, but I've had Pinwheel split into multiple copies and execute me before, so it can happen. So the Rite of Kindling lets you build up bonfires to 20, and Pinwheel drops one of the 3 masks that he's wearing, Mask of the Child, Father, or Mother, and they have varying effects, but I'm sure everybody knows what they do. And if you crawl up here, you can get into the Tomb of the Giants, which is pitch black, and if you don't have the Skull Lantern, which makes you sacrifice your shield to use, or the Sunlight Maggot, which you can wear on your head and is infinitely better, then it's very difficult to see where you're going in here. And then we got everybody's best friend Patches over here. I wonder what he's gonna do.
Good day. You look reasonably sane. What are you doing in the Catacombs? Are you a cleric or something? No? Really? Really? Then I'd have no qualms telling you. There's a fine stash of treasure right down that hole. I found it first, but, well, we're friends now. So I'll split it with you. In any case, have a look. It'll shimmer you blind. This is what I do, my friend. The trinkets I'll be stripping off your corpse, that's the real treasure.
So, typical Patches. If you don't pick up the skull lantern in the catacombs, you can find one right here on one of these bodies. But like I said, I always use the sunlight maggot. And then there's Rhea, one of the characters from Firelink Shrine. She comes down here with her 2 guards, and they're supposed to do something in the catacombs, but I guess they got tricked by Patches and kicked into a hole, so I'm going to cut her dialogue out. And then we have to fight both of her soldiers.
Did you? It pains me to think of the trouble my failings have caused. I am certain that both Vince and Nico are grateful to you. Thank you so very much. Here, these belonged to them. You deserve them more than I am certain that both Vince and Nico are grateful to you. Thank you so very much.
And then we can get out of here. There's bone towers that are in the way up here, but I should be able to clear them out with my mace. And then there's an illusory wall blocking here. If you go off to the left, you can go down into a chamber that has the large Divine Ember, but I've got my weapons upgraded to max, and I don't need to do that. It's full of big skeletons that can really hurt you if you don't take them on one at a time with the fog ring. So let's confront Patches.
Oh, you. Well, let's just calm down. Talk about things. I did you wrong, but I didn't mean it. These temptations, they can, well, overcome me. You know what I mean, don't you? Please, forgive me. You and me, we're jolly undead outcasts, aren't we? For heaven's sake, let's not mope about, eh? You're still alive. I said I'm sorry. I know. Take this. It proves something, doesn't it?
So if you don't forgive Patches, he'll give you a twin humanities. That's why I always tell him no. Also, he asked if I was a cleric or something, and I told him no, but I did start this game as a cleric, but You know, he's not asking about your class starting. He's asking about, you know, if you're doing the same things down here that Rhea and her associates were doing. And there's one more bonfire down here. This is a somewhat confusing area if you don't know where you're going, but I always take the same pathway to get through here. And then we get invaded by Paladin Leroy up here. He comes running from the end of that pathway on the right. If you kill him here, you can get the Grant and his Sanctus shield. And then you can find his armor after you fight with Nito. There's a bunch of Pinwheel servants in this room. There's a chamber on the left after the first one, and you can find a white titanite slab, but again, I'm not going to jump down and get it because I don't want to risk getting jumped by all these Pinwheel guys. It's down there on the left. One of the things that I don't like about Dark Souls 1 is that when you have to drop into boss chambers, you take damage, and I don't think that's fair. But here comes Nito. We got to equip a divine weapon so we can knock his skeletons out, and then we'll fight with him. I'm not good at dodging his attacks where he does the scream and pokes his sword through the floor, so I'm probably going to get bounced around a little bit. But anyway, let's do this. Alright, so that's how you fight with Nito. And like I said, I'm not good at dodging his scream attacks, so I got bounced around in Toxic a couple of times. Sorry about that. I am just a normal player, though. I'm not some expert speedrun streamer guy. See, so after you kill Paladin Leroy, his armor's around down here somewhere, and then there's a bonfire for Nito. I didn't build this one up because there's no point to do it. I'm never going to come back down here. But that'll do for this playthrough, and thank you for watching. I'll see everybody again soon.